Okay, good morning to everyone. It's a pleasure for me to present Vanita Mesquita. She comes from Illinois Institute of Technology, and she's a close partner of the UPM, and they are always here presenting their double degrees. So, yeah, thank you very much for being here, Vanita, and all yours.
Thank you, Israel. Hello, are you from Minas or are you from Telecom? No. Energy, very good. More coming.
Yeah,
all the ones at the back are Minas. All right. You're settled in. I'm going to present, and I have 30 minutes. I hope to be dim the lights a bit. Should we dim the lights? You can see. Can you see?
Do you see it well? Yes. Okay.
Okay, maybe it's my eyes. Welcome. Thank you for attending this presentation. I'm pleased to be here at ETSIME. This is my second time here at ETSIME. Last year I came here too. And as Israel mentioned, we've had this partnership with UPM for more than 25 years. It's one of our most valuable partnerships. As I was telling some of you earlier, oops, are you all right? Nobody's hurt. Right? It's that telephone always keeps falling. As I was telling some of you earlier, we have about 80 students from UPM, from all the schools, from most of the schools at UPM, pursuing a double degree, master's degree, at Illinois Tech East 4. So they expect to graduate by next year, by August, and then do whatever they wish to do. So I present the double degree. The picture you have in front of you is the picture of our campus. We're located in the south side of Chicago. We are in the city of Chicago. As you may have heard about Chicago, we're the third largest city in the United States. And we have Lake Michigan, about a 20-minute walk from our university. In the foreground, all those buildings are, I don't know where the pointer is, the pointer, yeah. Yeah, all these buildings are campus. Oh, I have the point here. Yeah, thank you. That makes sense. We do have a metro station on our campus, 2 metro stations, the red and green line. Will take you to the downtown area in about 7 minutes, timed by a French professor. So it's really correct and truthful. So each building roughly corresponds to a department or 2 departments. Chicago, welcome. Chicago is flat, just like the state of Illinois. So if you'd like to ride bikes, wonderful, but we are also the windy city. So if the wind is in your direction, good. If it's not in your direction, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just in case you don't know who I am, I'm Vanita Mesquita, and I'm in charge of all the international agreements for the university. So if you need to contact me, my email address is mesquita@illinoistech.edu. The contents of my presentation will comprise some information about Illinois Tech, then the programs, and of course cost. And then I would leave it open for questions. With regard to our stats, the size of our university, we're not considered a big university in terms of population. We're about 8,000 students. Most of our students you will see are at the graduate, I pressed the wrong one. Sorry. Most of the students are at the graduate level. A graduate means master's and PhD, which means we have lots of research programs and master's degree programs, and undergraduate means bachelor's. Just like in Spain, our undergraduate degrees are 4 years. Rankings and recognition, everybody likes to know whether we are a good university in terms of reputation or not. So you have all rankings that may make sense to you or may not make any sense to you. Simply put, when we look at rankings, as you know, in the United States, students have to pay for their education. And the cost of education is high, sometimes very high. The average student usually has to take out loans from the bank to finance his or her education. So it is a reality that we live with in the United States. It's not to say in Europe where things are sort of free, your parents pay the taxes for what you think is free, but it's quite different. So don't be shocked if you hear some numbers with regard to costs. Okay, don't fall off your chairs. So, having said that, in terms of ranking, the average student looks at the ROI. ROI is the return on investment. So if I pay X amount of dollars for my education, what is my return on investment? So let's say if I pay $60,000, we won't pay 60,000, but just put that out there, $60,000 for my education for 1 year. Can I get a job and what will my salary be? So if my salary is in the order of 100,000, then I think it may be a reasonably good return on investment because I will be able to pay off my loan in about 1.5 to 2 years. So that's what the mindsets among American students is, because they really want to pay off that loan and not accumulate interest on the loan and have to pay it till they get married, etc., etc. So we have a good ranking in terms of return on investment. Pay scale, we rank number 2 in Illinois, 82 in the country over a 20-year period. Best value school, meaning good value for money. We have to be realistic. There's a cost, and we want to make sure that if you pay the cost, you have a good return on investment. We are also a member of this Association of Independent Technological Universities, which is a consortium of private universities in the States. Among them are MIT, Rensselaer Polytech, Polytech, and others. So the private universities in the United States are very selective. In some countries, private universities don't have a good name or reputation. But in the United States, private universities are very selective. Selective means that not anybody can be admitted to a private university. It's not, you don't need money to be admitted to a private university. You have to be very good academically in order to qualify for admission. Okay? And some public universities may be selected. Some public universities are not necessarily selected, just like anywhere else. Our alumni have been very instrumental in changing the world. Okay? The cell phone, we cannot do without the cell phone now. And the first cell phone was invented by Marvin Cameras, and that was the size of the cell phone. It weighed more than a kilo, made the first call in 1973. How many of you use Alexa or know about Alexa? Assuming you know about Alexa. The head scientist behind the creation of Alexa was another student from Illinois, Roby Prasad. This MSEE means he received his Master's of Science in Electrical Engineering in 1999. Marvin Cameras received his Bachelor's in Electrical Engineering in 1957. And Ed Kaplan, he was the inventor of the barcode printing technology. We did not invent the barcode, but the printer is what he was responsible for. So the joke is that what's the point of having the barcode if there's no printer to reflect the barcode? So which is more important? Some students like to participate in athletics or sports. You can participate in any of these typical sports that you see for women: lacrosse, basketball, soccer, what you call football and soccer because it's not American football. And like every university, we have a mascot. So our mascot is a scarlet hawk. And for men, there are all these types of sports. We're not ranked. We don't have that division where we play nationally, but we do play, our teams play locally and regionally. So since we don't play nationally, we don't offer scholarships. So I'm just letting you know that. So if you ask me, are there any sports scholarships? Not at Illinois Tech. All our students are welcome to live in our residence halls, one of our residence halls. Most US universities have residence halls on campus. It's not a surprise. And we have 5 residence halls. Each hall has a different configuration. That means some halls are McCormick Student Village, and you can share a room with two students to a room with a common bathroom and restroom area. Other configurations are studio single room or 3 bedrooms and a common kitchen and a common bathroom and a common living room. So it's up to you to choose the type of residence hall. The cost varies based on the type. This is a picture of a single room and kitchen hall. And single rooms usually are more expensive than double rooms. I've provided you with the rates. Note, I've mentioned August 25, 26. So our academic year starts in August and ends in May. So we are currently in the August 2025, May 2026 academic year. So if you decide to come next August, you will fall into the new academic year, which will be August 2026, May 2027. The cost range is as low as $7,000 for the academic year and as high as $16,000. Meals, you can choose your meals, 3 meals a day, 5 days a week, depending on how much you want to eat or how much you don't want to eat. It can vary from $2,000 to $8,000. You're not required to live in our residence halls. Most of our Spanish students on the double degree program live in the city, and they tell me it's probably cheaper because they can share the meals. Some will rent apartments or rental apartment, a 3-bedroom rental apartment per month is about $3,000. But there are 3 bedrooms, so each pays $1,000, and that minimizes the cost. And then they can share the food and learn to cook as well. And so that's up to you. These are partners in Spain. So we have, as one of my colleagues told me, the BMA, the Barcelona, Madrid, and Valencia, Universidad Politécnica de Madrid, Catalonia, Comillas, IEU Madrid, Valencia, and more recently, Universidad de Sevilla. So why study at Illinois Tech? There are 3 main advantages. There are other US universities that have double degree programs, but the restrictions are as follows. They may not have as many master degree programs to choose from. Some schools may only offer 3 or 5, and that's it. But you can choose any. We have more than maybe 40 or 50 master degree programs. You can choose any on 2 conditions: that they are non-thesis and that your school approves the degree program, because you're going to spend your 2nd year of your master's at Illinois Tech. So it's important for your school to validate your year at Illinois Tech. That's why it's important that your school, you discuss with your school, Teleco or Minas or Informatica, which program you'd like to pursue, so that they can validate your year at Illinois Tech. We also have 2 world-famous laboratories, Algon National and Fermi Labs. They're in the Chicagoland area. Chicagoland means including the suburbs of Chicago. One is a 45-minute drive one way, and the other is a 45-minute drive the other way. Algon National Laboratories is owned by the United States federal government, Fermilab is the second largest laboratory in particle physics in the world after which one? CERN in Switzerland. I've mentioned the visa type. This is important for you to know. Any student wishing to pursue a degree at any US university usually will come on this visa, F1 visa. The F1 visa is a student visa. It means you're coming to study and get a degree. So to get a degree, usually it's the F1 visa at any US university. Now, the visa guidelines are such. You have to be a full-time student and study and complete a degree. What happens after you complete a degree? So if, say, you start in August 2026, and let's say you finish by August 2027, you may want to look for a job in the States to get some work experience. With this visa, you're allowed to work anywhere in the United States in your field of study. So if your field of study is chemical engineering, and you have to find a job related to chemical engineering, you can work up to 3 years in your field of study anywhere in the States. So if your field is STEM is the acronym for science, technology, engineering, math. But any engineering field is STEM, any math field is STEM. So you could work for up to 3 years anywhere in the United States. The average salaries for students, annual salaries, for students with a master's is about $75,000 a year. So that is important for you to know. So now I'll talk about the 1+1 or double degree. It's given both names, just not to confuse you, but to explain why it's called 1+1 or double degree. So simply put, you spend year one of your 2-year master's here and year two at Illinois Tech. And after validation of your courses at Illinois Tech, you would receive your degree from UPM, and also you would receive your Illinois Tech diploma before the degree from Illinois. It's called 1+1 because you do year one at, say, UPM and year two at Illinois Tech. It's also called a double degree because you receive 2 degrees, 1 degree from Illinois Tech and the other from. Now, getting into the type of master degree programs, you will find different categories of masters. We have MS, everybody knows what an MS is, Master of Science. We have the professional masters and we have the Master of Engineering. Students often ask me, so well, is there, one French student asked me, is there prestige between MS or MAS or prestige? All of these master degrees are accepted by companies. And also, if you want to pursue a doctoral degree, a PhD program, some of them can apply towards a PhD program. So, but if you want to choose any type of master degrees and your idea is to work in a company, any of these are fine and accepted. I've given you information about what is important. So MS, we may have a thesis option. Now, remember, the thesis for us in the States means at least 1 year of research. Your trabajo fin de masters is not a thesis. It is called a research project. So don't use the term thesis with our professors because then they are ready. They think that it stays for 2 years. That's not your intention. Your intention is to complete everything in 1 year, in 12 months. So if the master's has a thesis option, do not choose it. If it has a research project option, then you can choose that master's. The number of credits are 32 or 33. One US credit is equivalent to 2 ECTS credits. So it'd be 64 or 66 ECTS credits. Usually a course, and what we call a course, is 3 credit hours. That means 3 hours of contact hour with the professor per week. On average, students complete 9 or maximum 12 hours contact hours per week with a professor. Now you may say, oh, that's easy. I should get my degree in 1 semester because you do more hours here. The big difference is that you have a lot of homework, a lot of personal assignments, quizzes and exams. So we say for each contact hour with the professor, you're supposed to do 3 hours of work. But then when you do the multiplication, that's a lot of work. So do not be misled by the fact that, oh, if I only take 9 credits in the semester, it's easy for me because here I take 25 credits. A professional master's was created a long time ago when companies asked us to provide masters whereby students could get the competencies and skills to work in their companies. So that's why we call it a professional master's. It trains you to work in a company. Some professional masters may apply for PhD, but it should have a research project, but not all apply towards a PhD. MEng will apply towards a PhD and also for company. The number of credits for professional masters is usually 30, and MEng is also 30. These are all the departments you can choose from. So each department, if you're confused, it can be confusing. Each department corresponds to roughly a school within UPN. Right? Although the size will be much smaller. So the Department of Civil Architectural and Environmental Engineering has its own master's degree programs that you will follow, just like your school has its own master's degree programs. So you can choose any of those master's degree programs. There's structural engineering, civil engineering, construction engineering, management, etc., transportation engineering. Electrical computer engineering for the student from Teleco, they usually go into power engineering or masters of electrical engineering. We have artificial intelligence, computer vision and control, cybersecurity engineering, lots of master degree programs. Biomedical, Teleco students also can apply, and other schools also can apply if it's compatible. Industrial technical technology management, mainly for students from the School of Industrialists, chemical and biological, and mechanical materials. We offer mechanical and aerospace engineering masters, autonomous systems and robotics, manufacturing, engineering masters. So lots of choices. If you're interested in computer science, make sure you have the background for the computer science masters. You have computer science and AI, everybody looks for that, in cybersecurity, in data science, and so on. And then information technology management, we have cybersecurity and forensics. Lewis College, we had a student from Teleco who chose the Department of Physics, and his specialty was in quantum physics. And then Stewart School of Business is also possible. So this is not, nobody from agronomers here, so I'm not going to talk about agronomers. So what I've done is list the programs that you can choose from. So this eliminates the guesswork for you and for your professors. So if you choose the biomedical engineering department, it's a non-thesis program. It will say coursework only without research option. You click on this and you will see on the curriculum all the types of the courses on offer. Please always check the website because sometimes some masters may change or may no longer be offered, but it's important to, it's important to check the website. Anybody interested in chemical engineering here? No, then I won't go through that. Environmental engineering, no hands for environmental engineering, but you can choose environmental engineering, electrical, look at the list of masters you have to choose from. Again, you can choose any of these if your school says fine. Aerospace engineering, you have all of these masters, so much more than 3 or 5. Industrial technology for students from industrialists. Computer science, again, you have the data science, as I mentioned, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, so on. Information technology, cyber forensics, and then applied math. Anybody interested in applied math? Not sure. Your biology, chemistry, physics also. We also have interdisciplinary masters, whereby you take courses from one department and another department, but it's still very structured. And what you note is, I put this in brackets, means that even though it's interdisciplinary, there has to be one department that manages that specific program. So when a student applies for Masters in Computational Engineering, on the application form, the student asks which department, so then he or she should mention the biomedical department, BME, biomedical engineering, MMA, mechanical, ECE, electrical and computer engineering. All of these interdisciplinary masters are 30 credits out. When you go on the website, this is just an example. So let's say you're interested in, I don't know, Master of Engineering, AI, computer vision and control. It gives you the career path. That means what kind of jobs you can expect to apply for in the United States. So we've highlighted one of the jobs, computer information systems engineer, which you could apply for, and the median annual salary is about 153,000 median. So the skills required are operational planning. So this helps you. Yeah, the salaries are very high in the States. So that's why return on investment is important when you pay for your fees. Okay? So this gives you an idea as to what the program is about, why would you choose it, what skills do you need, and what kind of jobs you can get. Stewart School of Business, we're one of the few schools of business that has STEM designated program. STEM designated, as I mentioned, science, technology, engineering now. So again, the STEM designation allows students to work for up to 3 years in their field of study anywhere in the United States. So if you choose any of the MS programs, it's a STEM designated program. This is a picture of the Chicago Board of Trade. It's the only business school in a tech-focused university in the city of Chicago. These are where all of our business students are employed, most of them on finance, as you will note. These are the companies that have hired our business students in the past. And now we get to the double degree program. So how does it work? So if you're interested in this double degree 1+1, you have to be pre-selected by your school. You can't just apply. It has to be controlled by both institutions because both of us will give you the degree. So you have to be pre-selected, and then your names are in your program of choice is sent to me, and then I will inform you about the application process. You have to show proof of English language proficiency. So that's the only exam that you will be required to take. We accept one of three. We accept the TOEFL, IBT. You need an overall score of 80, and 20 in each of the 4 sections. Or IELTS, IELTS 6.5 overall and 6.0 in each of the 4 bands. Or is now established in terms of accepting the Duolingo, 115, 115 overall, and 115 in each of the sections. So you can take any one of these 3 exams. We do not accept the Cambridge. We do not accept the TOEIC or any other exam. Only one of these 3. All of these exams have a validity of 2 years. So if you've already taken them and the validity period has expired, you have to retake the exam. What I've learned from some students recently is some students ask me whether you should take the TOEFL or the IELTS. For me, it doesn't matter. But some students have told me that in taking the IELTS, IELTS, if they don't have 6 in one section, IELTS allows them to retake just that one section for free. And we will accept that section. So if you're looking at saving money and time, that's one factor to bear in mind between the total. Because if you get low marks, less than 20 in one section in the total, you have to retake the exam again, usually pay and the whole thing again. Whereas IELTS, apparently, according to the students, allow, if they have just one section scored less than 6, they can retake that section for free, and we will accept that fees. And then the other cheaper option is the Duolingo for students who are concerned about the cost. The GRE is test optional. You don't have to take it. Graduate record examination. When we say test optional, means some students, they want to take it. Some students say, why bother? It will not affect the admission decision. So if we have the application where some applicants have taken it, some haven't, we will not take that into consideration. So in essence, we just have the English exam to pass. And we need your transcripts, that means all your marks from your school, certified in Spanish and English, and proof of your bachelor's degree. We make the final decision. The pre-selection does not guarantee admission. Our calendar, as I mentioned earlier, is based on, it's a 9-month calendar divided into 2 semesters. So next year, if you come in August, our classes start on August 24th. The deadline, if you fly for August 2026, is April 15th, 2026. Research project, now the trouble hopefully in the master's, are you required to complete it in a lab as part of your master's degree at Illinois Tech? The answer is no. But I noticed that for UPM, most of them, 99% to 99.9%, do their research project as part of their master's at Illinois Tech. And our master's degrees do not require research project, but we incorporate it into the master's degree program. How? We substitute 1 or 2 elective courses in your master's degree program. So you will do your research project in parallel with your course. So let's say you have, let me go to the next slide, please. Yeah. Let's say your school requires you to complete 5 months of full-time work on the research project. And the departments, they be applying to a department, and they, based on the coursework, you have to complete certain courses. They can only give 3 credits maximum for your research project. That's fine. That's accepted by your school at UPM. So then, if you have to work for 5 months, how do you do it? So you start in August. You will take your courses, the regular courses, and you register for 1 credit of these 3 credits of 595 or 597. That's the number. You work on the project part-time during that semester while you're taking the other course. So a semester is 4 months. So working part-time would be equivalent to 2 months of full-time work. Then in the spring semester, you do the same, but you work on the project part-time, you add another credit and work on the other courses. So at the end of May, you will have accumulated 4 months of full-time work. Because our semesters are 4 months, part-time 2 months, equivalent to 2 months. So where do you do the 5th month? So in the summer, from mid-May to mid-August, you have all that time to work on it. So in essence, you have a maximum of 7 months to work on it. So that's how we incorporate it in our program. So even if you will show in the transcripts 3 credits, US credits maximum, your school, if they see that your research project is well done, we give you an evaluation, etc. We send the reports to your school is validated and give you the 30 ECTS for the research. So that's how it works. Any questions? A transfer of credit means that since you've already completed year 1 of your master's degree. There may be some courses that you have done that are similar in content to some of the master courses that you wish to pursue in your program. So in recognition of that, we will allow for a maximum of 9 credits, that means 3 courses for transfer credit. So I've given you an example that we go here. No, this is like this. Okay. So for example, you pursue a 30 credit hour. And let's say your master's is in electrical engineering. Let's say among the electives, the master's in electrical engineering at Illinois Tech, I'm just mentioning courses randomly. Let's say one of the electives is digital circuits of 3 credit hours. You may have done that course, which is similar in content, in your year 1 of your master's. And you'll have to submit that for approval at Illinois Tech. You will have to have passed that course successfully, at least a 6.5 out of 10. So if it's compatible in content, compatible number of hours, meaning 3 credits equivalent to a minimum of 6 ECTS credits, master level courses, you've got a 6.5 out of 10. It's likely to be approved. If approved, then you will not need to take that course at Illinois Tech. Okay? So your 30 credits minus 3 will reduce your credit load for your master. We allow up to 3 courses, that's minus 9. So that can reduce your workload considerably so that you have a lot of time also for your research project. Prerequisites, this is mainly for applies to students with no background in computer science. So I've mentioned the courses you must have passed at the bachelor's level, 201, 401, 402, 430, 450, and all these descriptions of these courses are here in the link. For those interested in the Department of Electrical Engineering, you should have passed at the bachelor's level probability, stats, and signals and systems. Again, the course descriptions are here in the link. Right? So now we get to the nitty-gritty. What's the cost like? We have a new cost system now, effective 2026 and 2027. So for the European partner schools, all of our European partners, the cost will be considerably reduced. Our current cost per credit hour is 1,851. That's this year's cost. So if you pursue a 33 credit hour master's and you do the multiplication, that's how much it costs, 61,000, 32 credit hours, 59, 30, 55. You will not pay this cost. Instead, we offer you a huge discount, 1,200 per credit hour. So if you pursue a 33 credit hour master's, it's 39,000 compared to 61. 38 compared to 59, 36 compared to 55. So that will be your cost per credit hour, August 2026. But if you're approved, because it's not a guarantee, for transfer credit of up to 9 credits, okay, then it will reduce your credit load by 9, so 33 minus 9, you pursue 24 credits to get your master's degree, and you multiply 24 by 1,200 and you get 28,000. Or 32 minus 9, 23 credits, then you only have to pay 27,600 and so on. Again, transfer credit, if transfer credit is not approved for any course or only for one course, you will have to complete those courses at Illinois Tech, and it could delay your graduating in 12 months. You may need an additional semester. So when looking at your master's degree of choice, consult with your professors here. Make sure that you have the courses among the electives that you could apply for transfer. That's key. That's really important if you want to save on costs. So tuition means the cost of courses. Mandatory and other fees are all the services we offer you for the year. UPass is the use of the metro and bus unlimited for the year. Health insurance is mandatory and all the activities. Again, all this information will be available on the link provided below. So is it worth it? 2 degrees 1 year, good return on investment. You could find a job, work for up to 3 years if it's STEM related, and your starting salary is much higher. You could pay off your loan in 1.5 to 2 years. There are no quotas. As I told you, you've got about 80 students this year. So schools select 10 students or 20 students, and you qualify. If you qualify for admission, all 20 of you can study at IIT. You have a huge variety of master degree programs, experience in 2 different cultures, which is inevitable. So this is a testimony, and I think this one is really apropos. It was by a student who's got a Spanish-sounding name, but Portuguese-sounding name, when he is from France, Pio Lopez Marquez. In Strasbourg, he completed his Master's of Engineering in Construction Management last year. He also represented US in street lifting. Do you know what street lifting is? If you don't know, Google it. And he represented Team USA earlier this year. So what made him choose IIT, Illinois Tech? It was a partner school and had a solid reputation within the US and internationally. His dream was to come to the US, especially New York City. By the way, he is working in New York City. How did I finance my education? He took out a loan of $20,000. Maybe because he had parents had some money. He took up an extra cost, and he was able to pay it off within 2 years, and salaries are higher than in France. Reasons for making the decision despite the cost. I believed it was an opportunity to allow me to reach professionally, earn more. The US market offers not only higher salaries, but more growth opportunities. Was it easy to find a job? It was more challenging for me since he was an international student, but without much work experience. But he found a job within 2 months, which is really good. Of focus applications and interviews, companies in the US, this is important, are familiar with Illinois Tech. Very important to know. And I believe my degree helped me stand out. Salary compared to France. A US salary is typically at least 2 or 3 times higher than what one would get in France. And advice for students, it's a mid to long-term opportunity. If someone wants to return to France, that's a great choice. Opens more doors, leads to high salaries in France too. But in his opinion, staying and working in the US offers greater reward in terms of experience, exposure to culture, and higher salary. So that should, and there are other testimonies that you can take a look at. This student from SC she did her research project as part of her master's in improving the charging time of electric vehicles. And her academic advisor thought she'd done a very good job and asked if she'd like to stay on for a PhD, which he would finance. She wasn't thinking of doing it, but she decided yes. She completed a doctoral degree last year, and she's now earning a 6-figure salary in Texas in the company. So there are lots of opportunities, and 6-figure salaries are very high number. Okay? So that's the double degree program. The next option for students is a short-term scholar. How am I doing for time? Overextending? Okay. So you have to be pre-selected, and here you can only just do your research. In your trouble field the master, you can do it in a lab at Tech for a semester or for 6 months. The visa type is a J1. You don't have to pay anything, but you have to pay for your living and other expenses. So that's I don't need the text those there. So that's the end of my presentation because I've got all this for the ETSIME students, so that doesn't apply to you. So any questions? Any questions regarding the program? Don't be shy.
Anyway,
You can ask in Spanish if you're shy about your English. I may understand it, or you've got translation. Go ahead.
anyway, she'll be like for half an hour this time. Whoever wants to stop by and ask their particularly will be available for half an hour.
Yeah.
No questions? Everything was clear? You explained everything as clear as always.
so.
I mean, it's
I hope so.
difficult to have questions after you talk. So then, as I understood, these exchange opportunities are only set up for specific schools in the UPM, no? Not for all of them.
Yeah,
The bachelor exchange program.
yeah, the bachelor exchange is, but we have to, we're modifying the agreement, which is still valid because of the new cost. So if you want to add ETSIME into the exchange category.
I would like.
Okay, then.
And students would like as well, I'm sure.
So the exchange category is primarily at the bachelor's level. We require students to have completed at least 2 years of their studies at the bachelor's level, so you can come in third or fourth year of your study. You can come to Illinois Tech for a semester or for a year. Exchange means if ETSIME sends us a student, we send you our student in place of you. That's like a swap. You pay your tuition cost at your home institution. So if you exchange at ETSIME, you pay your tuition at ETSIME and you don't pay the tuition in Illinois Tech. Our students pay the tuition at Illinois Tech and don't pay at ETSIME. So that's what it means. That's why there has to be a balance. We can't have 10 ETSIME students and 0 Illinois Tech students. It has to be 1 for 1. So if we receive 3 exchange students, we are supposed to send 3 exchange students to 3 of our students. That's why the numbers are a little smaller and more limited, because sometimes it's difficult to send our students on an exchange. If the courses are not in English, higher courses in English.
Bachelor level courses, not many. I'm going to be the first professor teaching in English and statistics.
Okay.
Biology.
Yeah, because for us to have a balance, the American students would prefer courses in English, and they need at least 4 courses. 4 courses, 12 credits.
Would it be a possibility maybe to have a research internship instead? I mean, do they have to do research in bachelor level?
Our students do, but in terms of the visa, we don't have a visa type at the undergraduate level for research.
Yeah, I was thinking more in Illinois Tech students going to stay for the balance. It's easier to find tutoring in English.
But they would have to take credits. They have to take credits because they would rely on financial aid from the federal government, and the federal government, American students, will need to have at least 12 credit hours, 24 years.
And the final degree project, which is curricular here, I mean, could serve as credits because they could describe in the final degree project
research
12 credits.
Yes.
CPS, and do the research inside that subject.
Yeah.
That would be
it will be 3 credits for the research, and then the other 9 credits should be courses. Any questions? Did you get all confused now?
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much, Vanita.
Thank you for your attendance.